this gender ideology is preposterous on the face of it, and it promotes the idea that biological men can identify as a woman, and that's happening, right? Mm-hmm. We came across a poor guy who's trying to identify, right?
Yeah, that's gonna require me just a minute here.
No, that's fine. It's a guy he got up one morning and he decided that he too would choose to identify, excuse me,
perfect health,
as something other than what he was. And he tried to follow through on it and was turned down.
Would you like to hear from him?
He's puzzled. Yes, I would.
I went to the bank today, and they didn't respect my new identity. You know, I'm a white man. I identify as a white man. You know, when I woke up this morning, I decided to change my identity, and everybody else get to. You know, it worked for everybody else, and so I changed my identity this morning to a white man, 40-year-old white man. Okay, with good credit, with a credit score of 800, and a partner at a law firm. I never really went to law school, but I identify as a lawyer. And I was trying to get a loan from the bank for $1 million. I told them, you know, my net worth was I identify as a wealthy white man. And the bank told me that I falsified my documents. How can you say I falsified my documents when that's what I identify as a white man? I decided I've been white all my life. Like, I'm really not that black. If you look at me, I'm not that black, right? You know, I'm like, and then they said my credit score was 599. No, it's not. My credit score is 800, okay? Because that's part of my identity. Good credit is part of my identity. And I just don't think it's fair that everybody else get to change their identity and then I can't even get away with it. The bank won't give me a loan. I identify as a lawyer. I went to the law firm, you know, and they told me to get out. Like, I identify as a partner of this law firm. You are not going to tell me to leave. And I was escorted out, and
escorted. X.
I'm gonna just go back to being black.
And what do you think of Rook?
$17.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Mr. White. Mr. White on the bus. Yes, on Saturday Night Live.
You know what I think? That's too damn close to the truth.
Oh, man.
Oh, I identify as a
It's
lawyer.
a black guy doing a bit, and he's very hip. He gets it, whatever it is.
I think he's a
this
comedian.
Dude gets it.
I recognized him.
But it's too close to the truth.
Yeah. Chappelle predicted this years and years and years ago when he had his TV show, and he had a blind black KKK member.
That's right.
Yes. Sitting outside his house.
Oh, my God.
Blind.
And didn't he...
just tearing into the black folk.
He divorced his wife, if I'm not mistaken, in that same skit.
Yeah, it's sketchy. I don't know.
I don't know if I can go there, but it's very funny.
You know, because you compare this to Kamala, who advocates this preposterous gender ideology that men can be women. My pronouns are she and her. Bleep you, Kamala, you fool. So she proposes this. She promotes this. What's to keep this guy from doing what he just did? And we're still at a point in history where he will be turned away from the law firm and he will be turned away from the bank for seeking a $1 million loan. But how long before that's not true?
That's the crystal ball.
Because this is ridiculous the way people are behaving. The left they're crazy. They're just insane.
They're making stuff up.
They're insane.
Yeah,
they're
making it up.
You mentioned Chappelle. Remember the audio clip we played either early this week or last week of Pelosi standing in there when she was asked about her husband's.
Yeah.
And they did the side-by-side because Chappelle did that exact same bit. Me? It's just,
What?
What?
Yeah.
And he slams and he walks off. It's the exact same thing. It's very fun, except one of it's reality and the other is not.
Well, does the world take us seriously with this utter fool as vice president?
Nah.
Does the world take Biden seriously?
No.
And don't get me wrong, nobody should take Trump seriously. His brain stopped at the age of 7. He has no thoughts and he has no policies. He only has impulses. Let's bomb Mexico. Nobody will know it was us. He only has impulses. He's not a developed human being. We're in just a very odd state of affairs here.
How are we going to get back on the third rail? What do
And
we
I
got?
don't want your bleeping pro-Trump emails. The guy has tried to undo the Constitution. He's a complete moron, and his brain stopped at the age of 7. He's not a developed human being.
This is a recording.
He has impulses. He doesn't have thoughts. He doesn't know how to think. Has there been one word about a Trump library?
I have not heard about a
Well,
library
what are you gonna put
or
in
an
there,
airport.
tweets?
Airport? What do they usually get? Airports or libraries?
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah, but the problem with his library, they'd be all full of The Art of the Deal and his book set.
And he'd be there selling them.
They'd be for sale.
Yes, right, not rent. You can't